they'll want to give back. They'll want to give back to the WEN members, just starting out through mentorship and perhaps the educational programs. We want to continue to engage all of our members and keep them a part of our organization for many, many years to come. And I just got a notification, so I'll make an interruption here. We are recording this. I forgot to mention that. Just want to put everybody on notice. We are recording this entire presentation, so certainly we'll have that available if anybody would like to revisit this after the conclusion. So the goal of this program is to create a professional group exclusively for diverse executive level women that will serve as a platform for senior female energy leaders to build relationships, share ideas, develop new business opportunities, give back to the WEN community, and participate in cutting edge programming. There are many, many amazing benefits for these prospective members. And to provide some of those highlights, we've got Tara Meek.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole, and thanks for putting all this together. This is a really great thing for Greater Pittsburgh, so I'm happy to go over the benefits for it. So some of the benefits for executive members will be access to in-person and online community of executive level women only through member-only events. So there'll be member events that will be set up exclusively for executive level and that level of membership. There'll be public recognition as a thought leader and supporter of women in the energy community, and that will be through the communications from the chapter. They'll give back by mentoring, developing aspiring women professionals in the energy industry. So not only will you be mentoring within the executive group, but also outside of the executive group. And then you support other executive women and foster professional development. I think once you reach the executive level, at some point, you do need to have professional development fostered by your peers. Be visible role models and support progressing the careers of non-executive level members by participating as speakers at WEN Pittsburgh leadership and mentoring programs when available. So not only will you be in WEN Pittsburgh's speaker database as an executive member, but you will also be in the speaker database through the global board, so you'll be available to all 22 chapters as an executive member. Receive invitations for executive member only events at the upcoming WEN Global Conference. So there will be, Jana's actually planning it, so it's probably a good segue, but there will be a lunch and a happy hour set up for the executive level members, and it will be exclusive to those level membership. There's a few other chapters that have executive level memberships. We might be going over that in a little bit, but you'll be able to go to their events as well.
Great, thanks, Tara. We have Jana with us. Jana, would you please speak a little bit to our prospective executive members on the call today about your experience as a Houston chapter executive member, and certainly feel free to add any other color in your own words to the program itself, and if you do want to touch on the upcoming global conference and those executive level events that you're planning, you can certainly add that as well.
Sure. So I have been a member of the executive membership group in Houston since its existence, and so that's been, at least a decade or so. We created it in Houston because you go to a WEN event, right? A regular WEN event, and there's a lot of women there, and they're at all levels of their career and from all different disciplines. And there's a lot of really great things about that. But what we had were executives coming to us and people on our advisory board who said, once you get to be a woman executive, it can be a little lonely. And there are a lot of peer-to-peer networking issues that are coming up that you just want to talk to someone who has a similar level, or you need to be connected to someone. and going to a regular WEN event might, maybe you get there eventually, right? But maybe you wouldn't. So that was some of the genesis behind starting that group. And so we started it in Houston anyway, although chapters can handle it differently. Executive members pay one price, right? So you pay one price for the whole year. You're already included in all the events. So you don't have to go separately. You may have to register, but you don't have to separately. It's kind of a one-stop shop, right, for executives. So they don't have to sit around and think, oh, can I do that event? Look at their calendar and, then pay, and then maybe they can't go. They're already in. At the actual events, so Houston has a series of breakfast meetings throughout the year because that's the time that we found that our executive members can make it. Everybody can make it at a breakfast from 7:30 to 8:30 and then get off to work, and they're there by 8:45 or 9. And those are smaller events. So the networking is really, really high quality. Every event that I've ever been to, I've met new people or people who, when we start talking at our table about issues that we're facing, can very readily connect you to someone who can help you out or have that experience themselves. So I find it almost like kind of a mentoring circle for more senior women in the energy industry. So you're not really part of them. Well, and actually in Houston now, there are even mentoring groups within the executive membership. Now that I think about it, those exist as well. But just at the average event, you're sort of getting that experience, anyway. The speakers that come and the topics that are covered are, different. Even if it's the same topic, it may be covered from a different perspective at the executive level events. And what we found is that there's no limit to the people who want to come and speak to that group, right? So there's a lot of people who are, interested and available in coming and presenting to that group, again, on that same kind of peer-to-peer sort of level in terms of the speakers and the speaker quality. And, that's kind of, I think, what it makes all work. In terms of the content of the programming, they try to make it like what executives should be thinking about coming up, sort of what's that next thing that maybe you haven't thought about a lot yet, but you need to know more about, whether it's your day job or not. So those are the basics. I found it to be a great group. It doesn't sort of replace the overall WEN group, for me. And I think there are sort of different benefits, but it is a really good, smaller group with some different programming, and like I said, the peer-to-peer networking is really great. For the conference that's coming up in April, we are doing an executive level luncheon. And so both existing executive level members from the chapters that have an executive program that are signed up for the conference are invited to the luncheon, as well as there's a sort of a series of questions when you sign up for the conference that allows us to identify other people from other chapters who may not be executive members because they may not have that membership opportunity, but they're at that level. And so those people, some WEN chapter leadership, like the presidents from chapters that are attending and things of that nature, will all be at this luncheon. It follows our sustainability ESG panel on the first day, on the first full day on Monday. And we will have kind of a short program that talks about executive membership. It will have a little bit of a substantive talk with a couple of speakers kind of following up on the ESG panel, but mostly it will be an opportunity for those people to enjoy lunch together, network, and kind of continue the conversation from what they've just seen that morning. So that's, if you're interested in that and you sort of want to make sure you get an invite or something like that and you're coming to the conference, you can certainly reach out to me, or you can reach out to Tara, or have someone put you in touch with us and we can help facilitate that, because that's a good way, I think, to sort of see a little bit of an experience of what this will all be like. And then I think Tara mentioned it, but one thing at the global level that is consistently talked about is, how to, other than the conference even, how do we find easy ways to connect up executive members across chapters? And so, with everything that we've been able to learn about how we can connect people between chapters during the pandemic, just through like virtual programming and things like that, it really advanced the ball for us in that area. We're looking at how can we, as we have more and more executive member chapters, how can we either put on programming that they all can benefit for, or have a virtual happy hour, or other ways that online communities, something where those people can connect. So if you're in Boston for work, you can in advance of your trip, you can talk to somebody who's there and maybe meet up for coffee with them, that sort of thing. So that's basically it. I'm happy to answer any questions now or at a later point in the program.
Jana, were we having a exclusive happy hour before Billy Bob's at the conference?
Yes. So we are also having for after the lunch. So the conference starts on Sunday evening, and then Monday we have a general session until lunchtime. We have the executive lunch at lunchtime that day in the hotel. And then at the end of the day, that first night is our networking event at this great Fort Worth venue called Billy Bob's. And what we are doing to give a little more time for the executive members and allow them to kind of network in a more casual, relaxed environment is the executive members will meet and get on a bus and go to Billy Bob's, like an hour early, essentially 45 minutes to an hour early. So the first 30 or 45 minutes that they're there, it'll just be those executive members again who can kind of further catch up with each other to give them one more opportunity. So good point. I forgot about that.
Great, thank you so much, Jana. Does anybody have any questions for Jana? No? Okay. And certainly we would encourage all of you to, if you haven't already, take a look at the agenda for the upcoming global conference. It's supposed to be a really fantastic event. Me personally, I'm very much looking forward to attending. This will be my first experience there. I've heard so many really wonderful things, and I'm looking forward to being able to network and meet some really amazing like-minded professionals and partake in the exclusive executive events. Thanks, Jana. Tara, would you like to present the criteria for membership?
Sure. Just as a preface to the criteria for membership, I'll just say that there's no clear lane. A lot of times you're questioning, do I fit into the sphere of influence? Do I have 5 years experience? I think we do review it on a case-by-case basis. This is sort of a loose interpretation of the criteria, so we can go over it. But I do just want to mention that if you think that may or may not meet the criteria, just to reach out to us, and really we'll just evaluate it on a case-by-case. Likely, you're going to be okay and you're going to be accepted as an executive member. But if you have any questions about it, just let us know. So some of the criteria is just to hold a senior executive position within an energy company or company serving the energy industry. So any of those vendors out there, or be an equity partner or shareholder in a leadership position, an organization serving energy industry clients, a fully tenured professor teaching energy related subjects, hold a cabinet level or higher position, GS 15 or senior executive service or similar level within the government agency or federal government related to the energy industry, hold an executive position at a trade association or a group that serves the energy industry. So WEN is part of that. So if you're on a board with Women's Energy Network or any other nonprofit or trade association group, then that would apply. Be past president of a WEN chapter, applicable after fulfillment of your term as immediate past president. So like I said, those are pretty loosely interpreted criteria. So There's no clear lane. The energy industry is definitely different than any other industry. So we don't want you to think that we would turn you away. I will just add that we do have currently, with Pittsburgh being added, we have 6 chapters with executive membership. That's Colorado, Pittsburgh, Houston, North Texas, South Louisiana, and Washington, D.C. So if you're in any of those areas and they're having executive member events, you would be able to have the invitation to attend those events as well.
Great, thanks so much, Sarah. Okay, so moving on to the application process. This is invite only, essentially. You know, we would reach out to those of you who have been invited to this particular interest meeting. You know, we have certainly identified on the front end to be, you know, ideal candidates for this level of the program and the membership. You know, all candidates will complete the application online, and you will be, you know, required to submit a resume or your CV outlining your work history. That way, there's absolutely no question about the qualifications and meeting the criteria. You must be approved as a member by the board of directors within, you know, our chapter. So, you know, we've had a few folks have reached out to us via email expressing interest already in becoming a member. They have forwarded their resumes to us, and we have certainly responded to those individuals by saying, we're happy to have you, excited about your interest. And we're basically just, you know, giving them our blessing and guiding them over to the website. So we would recommend, if you don't already have a login credentials and created an account, you'll want to do that to be able to upload all of the information and fill out the application properly. But you can do that through the chapter's website. Under the Join tab, you can certainly scroll down to Executive Membership, and from there it will just walk you through the application process. But we would encourage you to reach out to us via email if you have any questions, concerns, whether or not you may fit the criteria as a candidate or not, and we'll certainly walk you through that. No problem at all. And let's see, I'm checking chats here to make sure I'm not missing any.
I just put the application, the link to the application in the chat. That's what that was.
Great, thanks, Tara. Okay, and we've established our fee schedule for the year. We are looking at an annual membership cost of $300 annually. This is rolling membership. Members will enjoy complimentary attendance to our chapter's executive specific events. So I know that was mentioned a little earlier. We just want to reiterate that as it's extremely important to know that you will be receiving invites exclusively through our WEN Pittsburgh executive membership email. They will come to you directly. These will not be posted at this time. These will not be posted on our website. They will not be sent out in our normal weekly e-blast, because it's very important that they don't get cross-communicated, since these are exclusive and we are targeting our existing members within that program. So please, I would recommend anybody, if you haven't already, I know there's been some people that have said, we missed the original interest meeting because it went into our spam or what have you. I would certainly go into your email if you haven't already and just make sure that it's an approved sender, so that whenever we are sending out any sort of e-blast or notifications, that you are getting those. And again, they will come directly from our WEN Greater Pittsburgh Executive Membership email. So, the regular member pricing for any executive events will still stand. You are certainly welcome to attend any of those throughout the year. Again, you can do that through the website, log in with your credentials, and if you're a member, you'll just pay that particular fee for that corresponding event. We've created a bit of a high level calendar of events this year. Right now, this is very rough, and we're hopeful to receive some feedback following today's interest session from all of you via a survey. And we'll talk a little bit more. I'll have Jillian talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. But again, just to kind of recap what's happening here very soon in April in Fort Worth is the Global Conference. There will be a couple of exclusive membership events. I would encourage you to reach out to Jana directly if you do have any interest in that, and if you have any further questions in those particular events. In May and June, we are working together with our other chapter directors overseeing the educational, the leadership, and mentoring programs. And we are looking to coordinate that effort with them in the hopes to pull in any of our interested and hopefully already established executive members at that point in time. So please stay tuned for more to come on that. And August 19th is our Boots and Ball Gowns Gala. We are intending to have a Spirits and Starters happy hour exclusive for our executive members this year. And in addition to that, there will be VIP seating. Again, more details to follow on that. We are still working through fine tuning what that looks like, but essentially the happy hour would be very similar to what Jana had described for the upcoming conference, where, there will be, a separate time, on the front end of the gala, perhaps the first hour of the gala, special room set aside with some champagne or some wine and some hors d'oeuvres for those particular executive members and their guests to mingle amongst themselves. And then, of course, anybody that is attending will have that VIP seating available as well. That will be exclusive, and they'll have their own tables to sit. And then in December, we're looking at coordinating a signature holiday mixer. Ideally, I think we'd like this to be an annual event. Some sort of a wine, perhaps in champagne and chocolate pairing. So again, very high level at this point, and we're very excited about kicking off this program this year and getting some of you involved. That is the conclusion of the information we wanted to share with you today. I will turn it over to all of you if there are any questions that any of us could answer for you today.
Hey guys, I have a quick question. Tara, I saw you posted to click the box for executive when registering. What if you've already registered?
You just email AMR and let them know that you've already registered and the Pittsburgh chapter is just starting their executive membership, and that you meant to check the executive box to be considered for the events in the global conference.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. I will just say, Nicole, you've done a great job on researching all of this and making sure that you paid attention to detail and putting all this together. So really great job, and I'm excited to see what you do in the future with this program.
Thank you so much, Tara. I appreciate your support. I will also quick mention too, there are some messages flying here in the group chat. Please take a look at that. Jillian has added some information about our with our email address. Certainly, if you have any questions, that's the best way to reach out to us. And Jillian, do you want to just quick touch on the survey and what that entails and the follow-up?
Sure. Yeah. So we just wanted to kind of get everybody's your interest in in the executive membership. So we created a survey, which we'll send out to everybody. And we're also going to send out the recording, like we said, to those that couldn't make it today. But essentially, we just wanted to see, you know, are you looking more for virtual events still? Are you going to go in person for these? And then also location, which is really important in the Pittsburgh area. You know, is it better downtown? Is it better, you know, Cranberry, South Point, you know, and we will do a mix of things too. So just, you know, if the majority is downtown doesn't mean that we're never going to do something in South Point, but we just kind of wanted to get a feel for that. We do that with our membership as it is, because we always, you know, try to make sure that we are able to hit everybody throughout the year. And then a couple other questions are just like timing, you know, is it, like Jana had said, you know, is breakfast time, is that going to be the best for everybody because it's before your workday? Or is it lunchtime, or is it after work, or, you know, weekends, which usually are no, but, you know, you never know. Every group is different. So we have a couple of those options. And then also topics, you know, what's important to you. And I think that, you know, we've talked to other chapters, and what's important to their chapter may not be the same as what's important to ours. So we just kind of wanted to get some feedback from everyone in regards to topics. And then also, you know, as part of executive membership, and honestly, as part of being a WEN member, we're always looking for speakers for our events. So we want to know if you're interested in being a speaker, and maybe you have a great topic, and you know, it could be educational, it could be leadership. We do a ton of those events throughout the year. So that would be an interest to us as well. And then additionally, with our mentoring program, you know, if that's something that you would be interested in partaking in as well. So like I said, we'll be sending that out in the next couple of days. And so please be on the lookout for that. If you don't receive that by probably Friday, I would say, please reach out to us. We did have some issues, like Nicole had said. I mean, my email spammed us as well. So I just had to go in and permit that because I'm going, wait, I didn't even get the invite. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, email us, and Nicole, Anna, and I are checking all of that. And we hope that you enjoyed today's session, and let us know if you need anything.
Great. Thanks so much, Jillian. I appreciate it. So we have made exceptional time here for today's interest meeting session. We have, done a great job keeping that well within the 1.5 hour time slot. So you all can go to lunch, enjoy the rest of whatever is left of your lunch break here today, unless of course you have any questions. You know, we're again very, very happy to have you all. Thank you so much for carving out some time today. One last shout out for any questions, going once, going twice. No? Okay. All right, great. So enjoy the rest of your day. Look for that survey coming up, and stay tuned for additional announcements as we fine tune the details of some upcoming executive level events. Jana, Tara, again, thank you so much for your time and your support today. We appreciate having you.
Yeah, thank you. Great job, ladies.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you.
job, and good luck. You're gonna love this program. You really are.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.